let's talk to Gav. Oh, let me talk to Byron first.
While I admit I had my doubts at first, your man Quinton seems a reasonable sort.
Quinton's great.
That and every moment he's talking instead of Havel, the better chance we'll have of setting things straight. You can trust in us, Clive, just as we trust in you.
That's a strong trio, man. Hey, Gav.
You alright?
Silver linings.
Something troubling you?
No more than usual. It's just... Etta's baby will be coming soon.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to make something for it.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north, families would always make gifts when a bairn was on the way. Yeah, I'll let the little tykes know they were welcome in their new homes, like.
So, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that Etta's due any day now, and I don't know if I'll be ready in time.
Let's go.
Is there anything I can do to help?
We're doing it for the baby.
You know, there just might be.
All right then. What exactly are we making?
A good luck charm. But not just any good luck charm.
Not just any.
No. One made from the feather of a silver chocobo. There's naught lucky in all the realm, or so we used to say back home anyway.
So we're killing a
Thing
silver
is,
chocobo?
They're hard to come by. Had Otto and Karen check with their suppliers, but nothing. I try and track one down myself, only...
Only the big day is fast approaching. And that's all you need. A feather.
That or the bird whose horse it's attached to, aye. I was gonna start by asking around with traveling traders plying the northern borders.
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through Martha's. I think I might make that my first port of call. I'll let you know if I find anything.
You're a good friend, Clive. I won't forget this.
Or you can see if Ambrosia... I forgot about Ambrosia! That's right, she is a silver chocobo, isn't she?
Just about surviving, are you? When I was a little girl...
My family owned a bear. They let her sleep in a corner of the barn and had her play with me and teach me letters. We never ate together or slept under the same roof, but even so, she was like family. I was with her on the day she died. She held me in her arms and whispered in my ear, "My darling Martha, I'm so glad you didn't awaken." It was only years later that I found out she wasn't just a servant. She was my grandmother. What?
My grandmother?
And I watched her die in the corner of the barn, on a pile of old straw.
I swore then and there.
I was going to do everything in my power to bring an end to all this, to never stop fighting until the day when bearers can live free, just like she deserved to. And you know what? When I see that glint in your eyes, I reckon that day might be along sooner than I dared to hope. Aww. The Guardians. Weren't long after Rosalith got ransacked that Sir Wade and his men turned up at our gates begging for shelter.
Put the wind right up us.
It did. The state of them, all dressed in filthy rags. We were worried they might be cutthroats come to thieve and pillage. But some of the folk they'd helped escaped from the capital recognized them and set us right.
Thank goodness they did.
I couldn't have dreamed of better guests than the Guardians. The way they took the bearers under their wing and taught the Blood Axes how to fight like true shields of Rosaria. But when night fell, and they'd all gather around the bonfire to sing songs of the old duchy, why, it was enough to bring a tear to your eye.
Like being back in the glory days.
It was. With them the knights in shining armor come riding to the rescue.
Half of me wishes they hadn't left.
For Eastpool. But the other half knows they're better off up there, and they're only a stone's throw away if we need them. And we're just down here if they ever need us. 'Cause that's what Rosaria's about. Not preening knights and mooning maidens, but proud, hard-working men and women, helping one another out. Ask about the rest.
It ain't exactly a bed of roses.
Right now, we've got aether floods cropping up all over, and new arrivals turning up at the gates near enough every day, begging for us to take them in. Ever since the skies turned, it's been a struggle just to survive. But you won't hear any of us complaining. Not least because we're finally free of the Empire's grip. The garrison's been pulled back east, and the few remaining Black Shields have gone with them. Which also means we don't have to fear for our bearers no more. We can even treat them like the human beings they are. Just like they're doing up in Eastpool.
And that's just a start.
If we can make a good go of Eastpool, it'll show the rest of the realm you can live without magic, without slaves, that we can all be free.
Stop by for an ale any time, eh?
Aw.
Excuse me. I'm looking for something.
Oh, well, then I'm your man.
Thanks, traitor.
A silver chocobo feather.
Oh, or maybe not. Though you're not the first to mention the bird around here. There was a man stopped by the rest not long ago claiming he was attacked by a silver chocobo.
Oh?
Near some gutted hovel not far from Eastpool. Most took him for a braggart and a liar, but who knows? Perhaps there was some truth to his tale.
We'll see. Thank you.
Can I help you with summit?
You wouldn't happen to sell silver chocobo feathers, would you?
I deal in fruit, not fancies.
Damn.
But if it's fancies you're after, I suggest you try Rhiannon's ride.
Was a silver chocobo seen there?
Oh, yes. If you believe the ravings of a madman.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Every few years, someone comes along claiming they've sighted a silver bow, but the truth of the matter is, there ain't no such thing. You'll find nothing but bloodflies and bandits on Rhiannon's ride. Mark my words.
You say that, and then I'm gonna find one.
How do, traveller? You've the look of a man who could do with a new whetstone. Or perhaps a bawdy etching of the Vicereine.
Maybe another time. I'm looking for a silver chocobo feather.
Yeah,
If that's the case, rumours are all you're likely to find.
we're gonna find it.
No one has seen a silver chocobo for years. Word is they were all hunted for their feathers. Some northern nonsense about bringing good luck. Didn't bring them much, nor their bows.
That snort was
If any are
great.
still out there, I reckon they'll be doing their damnedest not to be discovered.
You're probably right. Thank you anyway. A silver chocobo sighted in the hills near Rhiannon's Ride. It sounds almost too good to be true. But since I'm already here...
The hills around the rest are crawling with wild chocobos. If you're not too picky about the colour of their plumes.
We all know what we're doing then? Alright, everyone to their positions. And if you need help, just call out.
We had no idea what it meant to live free. But that's all going to change, starting now.
I never got around to listening to everyone here. Now that they're free. Oh, I didn't mean to fall.
That's it. Eyes forward and strike. Yes, my lord.
Aww, look at them all working.
Forgive me, my lord, but I can't stop to talk. I need to teach this bearer how to draw water. And I got others breathing down my neck to help them with the field work.
They're busy.
My lord? Had you told me?
Back in Rosalith that I'd one day be in charge of my very own village, and have thought it a jest, and a poor one at that. And here I am nonetheless. The trouble is, I've known naught but the axe since I was old enough to stand, and while it might have saved my neck on occasion, it's ill-suited for tilling fields and building troughs.
Truth be told.
My lord, I've spent so much of my life fighting that I've never really learned how to live.
So that's what I'm doing now.
Or trying to, at least. Fortunately, Martha's always close by, should I need her, which is more often than I'd like to admit. In case you're wondering if this means I've given up fighting for Rosaria, the truth is I never stopped.
Eastpool is the duchy.
And in restoring the village, we begin to restore the country. It all starts here.
Driving back the horde was easy.
But now comes the hard part, surviving. Now to draw the bow, McDowell. It doesn't help that the bearers here are accustomed to using their gifts for everything, having spent their lives being forced to do so in service of to their masters. Before they joined us, most had never worked with their hands, let alone a plow.
Not that they're lazy.
Of course, quite the opposite. It's just that they're going to need some time to learn the basics before they're ready to man a storehouse or stable. And we certainly can't have them harming themselves using magics to achieve what a few blows of the hammer might. Besides which, every crystal in store might be cracked, but the blight's ever spreading.
No.
It's time we went back to relying on our own two hands, just like the Founder did. Now you and your friends at the Hideaway have shown us all it can be done. Now it's just a matter of doing it. Not many shields escaped the Empire's steel that night at Phoenix Gate. Yet those few of us who did swore then and there we would win back our home no matter how long it took. That, though, would prove to be easier said than done, especially in those early days when all who remained loyal to your father's throne were hunted more mercilessly than bandits. In the eyes of the Empire, we were outlaws, and we, for our part, embraced the role, the better to hide ourselves.
Eventually, though.
We were found, though not by the Emperor's men, but by your Uncle Byron. Still remember his words. Proud shields of the duchy and the heirs to the good Archduke Elwin's legacy, I, Lord Byron Rossfield, pledge both axe and abettance, that together we might see our nation rise once again from the ashes.
And while he has yet to lend his axe,
He has always been most generous in his patronage, despite the considerable risk inherent in our association. That generosity has seen us through many a dark day, ensuring our flame never went out.
and now?
With your help, my lord, and that of sympathetic souls like Martha, it finally feels as if we're starting to make a difference. Yet there is still much to do, for while the Empire's grip on our home is weaker than it was, the wounds left by nigh on 2 decades of Imperial rule will not be quick to mend.
If we are to heal,
We can no longer simply guard the flame of our forebears, but fan it, that it might spread to the hearts of all our brothers and sisters, and then the duchy shall truly rise again.
found to give you strength.
Aw, Wade.
All's well, my lord. Long may it stay that way.
Hey! Look at these bearers with swords.
Oh, the fields
Once
look
you've
great!
got the hang of growing Gizal greens, we'll see about replanting the wheat fields, eh?
Hey! Chocobo! Oh man, we're gonna have to kill the chocobo.
More tracks. And these look fresh. The chocobo was here. And recently. Perhaps it still is.
Oh, I hope we don't have to kill the chocobo.
I don't hear anything.
Oh! That's its nest.
Well, I'll
Thank
be damned.
goodness. The chocobos are so cute.
It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you.
Thank you.
Just borrowing a feather for my friend. Thank you. Let's get this back to Gav before they change their minds.
It was no trouble at all.
Oh, Ember!
I appreciate it.
Ember and Gav! Wait, they're talking!
Clive, you're back. How'd you get on? Any luck?
Any luck, you say?
Silver chocobo feather. The people of the north, silver chocobos are symbols of good fortune. and the mere sight of one potentially meaning the difference between a failed harvest and a bumper crop, according to Gav at least.
Crystals crack. Is this what I think it is?
It is.
Where in the hell did you find it?
It's a long story.
It's not that long.
Right there on the road to Eastpool. Who'd have thought it?
Everything up there's been abandoned for years. The empty cabin made for the perfect shelter. Though I fear my presence may have forced the poor creatures to look elsewhere.
Don't blame yourself, Clive. The Blight's right on Eastpool's doorstep. They'd have had to move on before long, even if you hadn't have turned up. They'll find a new home. Trust me. After all, that's what us endangered animals do. Anyway, what matters is, you managed to nick us one of their quills before they could run off. And now all that's left is to fix it to the carving.
Nice.
I didn't know you could carve.
Reckon there's a lot you don't know about me.
Gav for the win.
Like the fact I'm as good with a whittling knife as I am with a sword.
Oh?
And that bone Ember gave me's a dream to work with. What did you say it was from again? An Avis?
But it weren't your Avis, Sid.
Oh?
I slew one of my own at last.
Hell
So all
yeah!
those long nights in the pit finally bore fruit. I'm proud of you, Ember.
Great job, Ember!
Don't speak too soon. I ain't done my trial yet.
There we go.
Oh, I wonder what would happen if you didn't do his quest
What do you
yet.
think?
I think if you ever hang up your scouting cap, you'll be able to make an honest living.
Yeah, that
will
looks
I?
great, Gav.
I should go and see if Ed is awake.
Give
Aww.
him my best.
You can give it to yourself. Come on.
I don't want Gav to give up being a scout, honest.
I don't suppose you're here to reprise the Saint and the Sectary.
Ask about the Tri-Unity Accord.
Do you know why?
I chose to call it the Tri-Unity Accord, the Tri-Unity Clive. You may be too young to remember, but this isn't the first time an alliance has been struck twixt the nations of
'Twas
Storm.
not 20 summers past.
That your father petitioned both the Empire and the Republic to join hands with the Duchy, that we might work to mutual advantage in defiance of the Blight. And they, for their part, embraced the notion, or so we believed. Little did we know that the peace Elwin had worked so hard to secure would be ground beneath the heel of one we least suspected.
Your mother, the Duchess.
In one fell swoop, Annabella robbed us of everything: a nation, a leader, a brother, a father.
But above all,
She robbed us of what could have been, a realm undivided, Elwin's grand design.
and so you see,
Why I chose to call our new alliance the Tri-Unity. For with it, we aim to preserve not only peace, but a lasting legacy of cooperation. Aww!
that's my boy.
Clive,
Ask about the executors.
truth is but a matter of belief.
I certainly don't disagree, though I am surprised to hear that an organization such as theirs holds such enlightened opinions. They put the scholars at the university in Canver to shame.
Alas.
They shame themselves in turn by burying evidence of a truth they would rather mankind did not come to know. They may imagine themselves the protectors of the people, but ignorance is not bliss, no matter how fervently they might wish it.
Godspeed.
A new dawn. Though it's unsigned, every epic starts with a single word. Every symphony a single note. This is but the beginning, and forever shall your legend be told. Forever shall your your legacy be sung.
There you are.
Obtain all available items from your patrons. Hey!
All done?
I got a new orchestrion! I think I'm just missing one.
Ah, me lords.
How are you feeling?
Well, thank you. Is something wrong?
Wrong? No, nothing like that. what it is...
Does Gav have a crush?
Go on, please. It's beautiful. Did you make it?
We did, aye. It's from all of us here at the Hideaway. Your new family, like.
Aww.
It's a good luck charm. We may come up north when a band's on the way. I mean a baby. To let him know that they're part of the family too. Oh, I hope you like it.
Aw, Gav.
I don't know what to say. I thank you, my lords, for everything.
If there's anything you need, just let us know.
I will.
Clive, fancy a swift off? I'm thirsty.
Are they gonna
I could
drink?
be convinced. Don't you think you've had enough?
Oh, we're celebrating. I'm gonna be a father.
I think Edda might have something to say about that.
You know what I mean.
Oh, Gav.
Bit of light in these dark times. Wasn't long after me 10th name day, my mum told us she was with child again. I was over the fucking moon.
Oh no, is this gonna be sad?
I was looking forward to having a little one to lord it over. What with me being the runt of the litter. Thought I'd finally have a chance to prove to the world that I could be a big brother. Imperials came the day she went into labour.
No.
Had myself a baby sister. And then I didn't. My whole family gone in a blink, while I hid in the cellar like the spineless little arsehole I was. Great brother I turned out to be.
No. You would have died, Gav.
I'll never be a leader. And I'll never be a hero.
You are a hero.
I'm just a daft little dog who comes running when his master calls. I'll never be like you, or Sid, or Jill, or even Torgal.
Have you finished?
Maybe.
Do you know why you're our best scout? Because you don't need anyone to hold your hand. Without your resourcefulness, your courage, your determination, I don't know where we'd be.
Yeah, they'd be Jill would have been
Maybe
dead.
Hanging off a cliff like,
Clive, too.
That was only the once.
Exactly. You learned from it. And here you are after Founder knows how many missions, stronger for everyone. And let's not forget Rosalith.
Yep.
Who was it who freed me from the dungeon? Who was it who ran to Jill's rescue?
That would be me.
Because you're our brother, Gav. My brother.
Yeah. Oh.
Your brother.
Which means that when the time comes,
I get your room. And your sword.
Oh. Gav the next Sid. I love this game.
I may have had one too many.
Don't fall over, please.
you may have had 10 too many.
I said I was thirsty.
You weren't kidding.
Better get back to work anyway. After I walk this off. Clive?
What is it?
Thanks for, you know.
I know.
I love that. This game, man. This game. Winter Mead. I love Gav. Gav is so good. The Winter Mead, a potent potable made from honey collected in the Northern Territories, short summers, and fermented slowly over the next 6 moons. Said to warm the belly on the North's cold winter nights. I said I was thirsty.
One of these days. One of these days, I swear, it's gonna be me who drinks you under the table.
If by under the table you mean retching on my boots half the night, I reckon one of those days was yesterday.
Ha ha. You think you're so funny.
I love
But just wait till we crack open the bottle I left in your chambers. That stuff's strong enough to burn the horns off a behemoth.
Sounds like I'll be needing some new boots.
Aww, I love that.
Ready for the big heave-ho, are ya?
Ask about the hideaway. Work had only just started on the old hideaway when Sid took me in. Plan was to make it a safe haven for the bearers we were gonna free. I remember when the first ones moved in. They'd hardly dare look you in the eye, let alone speak to you.
Over time,
They started to thaw. They stopped being slaves and became a family. And the hideaway their home. It'll be the same with Edda and her little one, I'm sure. They can make a new home here with a new family. and with the best big brother in the whole wide world to look after them. Here. What are you looking so smug for? I'm talking about me.
go and give that fucker one for me.
The Triunity. Bringing together 3 men from different backgrounds was not to be without some difficulty. However, come together we did for a better Valisthea. The Triunity was but a first step. A longer, more bitter journey awaits us all. One that will almost certainly end in hardship. Yet what matters most is not the destination, but what we can learn from one another while on the road there. You have paved that road for us with your courage, Clive. Now we must have the courage to walk it. Your loving uncle. Whole again. Clive, it occurs to me that a single word of thanks does not nearly suffice to express my gratitude for reuniting me with from a distance. The toe made me who I am today, yet I thought that I should never set eyes upon it again. That those who took it from me had forever robbed me of a part of myself. But now I am whole again, thanks to you. I regret that I can only fill in the gaps in your knowledge, not the holes in your soul, for which reason I shall ever be in your debt. Vivian.
Oh, Clive. This is it then, brother.
Our last dance with the Ultima awaits. Only the Founder knows what awaits us up there.
Indeed.
But whatever we find, we shall overcome it. It would not do to disappoint our friends. They all believe in you, Clive. They would follow you to the ends of the earth if they could.
You're wrong.
My friends don't follow me, they spur me on. I couldn't have made it this far without them. Nor without you, Joshua. You gave me your blessing and made me your shield. Without you, I don't know how I would have even survived. Even when we were apart, you were always with me. And I trust you'll be with me now until the end.
Of course.
Whenever that may be. Where there's a will, there's a way!
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's not nothing. I've received word from Cyril.
Oh.
The Undying have found Father's will.
Oh?
Something akin to it.
His will? How and where?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, The Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but... would you join me?
Of course.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
Ah, so this is how you get Joshua with you. It's because I didn't talk to Joshua first. Yeah, if I brought Joshua with me, if I did this quest first, I would have been able to do all the hunts with Joshua. I guess I just made it harder for me. But also, didn't need Joshua. Joshua needed to relax and not use up all of his
Your Grace,
magic.
My lord.
Thank you for the
I
lord.
trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father.
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
Oh. Aww. I'm getting chills. My beloved sons, I know that I ask much of you in this coming war, but I see no other way to secure a future for our duchy and our family. Yet even should we succeed in subduing the savages and winning back Drake's breath, the threat of the Blight still looms, and only with all Rosaria striving as one might we at last overcome it. I have made plans to see us through, but such are the obstacles that stand in our way. It shall likely fall to you to continue my work. I know that you have the strength, the courage, and the will to do so. This shall be an arduous inheritance, so I offer you another, that you might be reminded of the love and the faith that I hold for you, for both of you. Oh, your father.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me.
Wow.
The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse.
Aww.
And the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With
They
the
got it
blight
from their
spreading
father.
ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwin saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath.
Damn.
But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
Oh?
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
My lord, I have the Book of Martyrs, should you wish to inspect.
Oh, there we go.
I would. Thank you. Delan. Kite.
Kites.
These aren't Rosarian names. I thought the Undying were drawn from the Duchy.
We are, but our order works from the shadows. We choose new names that our origins might remain secret. I chose Cyril. The others, the names recorded therein.
I see. Well, if these are the names they chose, these are the names I'll remember. Thank you again, Cyril. I'm in your debt.
As I am in yours. Fare you well, my lord. And may the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart.
Wow. The Book of Martyrs.
This is the Required Tree, an archive where we of the Undying collect and collate our findings. Fragments of Ultima's true nature surely lie buried within these pages. We have only to unearth them.
First Order of the Archaeologians, Dalmekian Wing. Further discoveries from our acolyte, ensconced within the recently displaced mountain dwellers' remote settlement. The diminutive tribe's main village appears to be in receipt of regular deliveries of supplies from Hugo Kupka's Men of the Rock. On inquiring with the locals, it became apparent that they have the deepest respect for the one they call Lord Kupka. But whether he has merely bought their loyalty or if there is some deeper connection between the tribe and Titan remains unclear.
The Undying are not the only secret fellowship in this realm, you know. There are others, each working for their own ends. Why, not so very long ago, a society committed to discovering how one might cast magics without a catalyst was found to be operating throughout Valisthea. They were denounced as heretics, rooted out, and driven from our shores, never to be seen again.
Lord Cyril. Acolytes stationed across Valisthea reported a curious change in the primeval structures we have come to refer to as monoliths. Following the fall of Drake's tail and the changes in the skies, allow me to present the preliminary findings of our archaeologians' investigations into these monoliths, most near at hand. We were able to visually confirm the activation of the structure in the northern reaches of the Velcroy, but a sandstorm forced our temporary retreat. We will make a second attempt when the wind drops. In Drake's Deep, our team was able to make direct contact with the monolith. However, no further change was observed upon touching its surface, nor upon dealing it several stout blows with both fists and blades. Whatever the purpose of its activation, it would appear to be other than that of the defensive echoes we have encountered among previous relics of the fallen and their predecessors. We shall continue our investigations both of the monoliths proper and of any historical writings that might refer to them, and inform your lordship forthwith should they produce any discoveries of note. May the Phoenix's flame burn ever in your heart.
My lord, your grace.
Oh?
I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields.
Oh.
Your father, the Archduke Elwin, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
Aww.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Oh.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
Oh, and they never had it.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish, that you be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see.
Of course.
We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay.
Oh, it's still
I have been
alive?
tracking its movements since you were but a boy.
Wow, it's been
Were you
alive
to
for
slay it in his
a long
stead,
time.
as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
Aww.
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
Yeah, Ethan. When you laid back down, your back started hurting. Found a position where it's chilling out. Okay, good. I'm glad you were able to find a position. That's rough, Void. I'm sorry. Maybe apply some ice to it if it's really bad. For context, it's 6:30 in the morning your time, so you're up. And Adam just kissed the wife goodbye before she went to work, and now you're working on paperwork. Nice. It is 2:06 a.m. for me. I will go to bed soon.
There it is. The House Rosfield.
Oh.
All yours, soldiers.
Nice. This game is so fun. E3 Serval, oh no! I'm sorry, Link. Okay, Zantet's skin is dope. Heartstone. Griffins suffer something akin to the crystal's curse, their flesh slowly turning to stone over a lifetime of channeling aether. Unlike bearers, however, the effect is far more gradual and limited to a sac around their hearts, the slower progression of petrification resulting in the formation of a gemstone of rare beauty.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
Thank the Founder you were safe.
Of course.
The Griffin is slain then?
Yep.
And the Heartstone claimed.
Yes. This radiant luster like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it.
Aww.
Thank you, my lord. Your grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith.
Hey.
The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
Brotherhood!
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms, only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Oh.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
Good job, Goditha.
Thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing.
And it never
so
passed.
My pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that his Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us. For giving my service meaning.
Bro! The Founder's Grasp. Fashioned after those pictured adorning the wrists of the mythical founder in ancient engravings, Archduke Elwin intended to gift these bands to his beloved sons upon their coming of age, that they might serve to remind them of the unbreakable bonds they share as proud scions of the ducal line, and the unwavering devotion that would be required to see their duty done.
I remain your faithful servant, my lord.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
Yeah, thank you, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I think we should.
Oh!
I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it. For it too is a part of your inheritance. And I
This
do
is
not
the
doubt
grave
that
that
your
I
father
saw.
would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, Cyril.
I wish you could see the bands on them. Like they were wearing the bands.
Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
Okay, I know exactly where this is.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
Yes.
Save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
Aww. Is this gonna be sad? I wondered what this monument was, because there was no prompting for it. I didn't realize it was for Duke Elwin. Aww.
Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else
sick,
to do the
Joshua.
fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men.
Aww. Good night, Boyd.
I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
And you're doing a freaking good job.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself.
True.
Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
No, don't do this to me. No, don't do this to me. How dare you, heavens, ward me? How dare you? Don't do that.
We
Be
won't lay you
proud.
down.
You're proud, Dad. Bruh.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Oh my gosh, did I really do it? Did I hit 50 with that quest? I hate how freaking poetic that is. I reached 50. With that quest. Duke Elwin's watching, bro. Oh my gosh. Rusted battle helm. Archduke Elwin's helm, worn during his victorious campaign to quell the Northern Uprising. War is coming, my boy. We must make ready. That's so funny. That's so funny. I did all of the side quests without Joshua. In loving memory of His Grace, the Most Righteous Elwin Rossfield, Archduke of Rosaria, conqueror of the Northern Territories, shield against the scourge of the southern seas, defender of the flame of the phoenix, who kept his light burning throughout the long winter of his slumber. Now you sleep, but your flame burns still.